Hello and welcome sports fans to this live video streaming event from Table Rock Sports Productions in partnership with our local districts and sponsors. I'm Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore, Johnny McCoy on the camera. We're coming to you from the Cascade Christian High School Pavilion in Medford, Oregon, home to the Challengers, and we thank you for joining us today. Welcome to the Lithia Superstore Game Night powered by Siskiyou Cellular in Southern Oregon. Tonight we are featuring the Douglas Trojans versus the Cascade Christian Challengers. We are pleased to bring you this game on TableRockSports.net in partnership with our community business partners. Joe Brett is the executive producer for tonight's event. Our sponsors keep these events free for fans to enjoy. Please let them know you appreciate their support. And we invite you to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Search Table Rock Sports and click on the red subscribe button. We will let you know when games go live. Moments away from basically the two best teams in the Far West League. Yes, coming into tonight's action, the Trojans with just one loss in league play, so they have been getting it done.
Interestingly enough, against South Umpqua.
Yeah, well, that's just going to be the odd thing, and to me, that's one of those things that there are a few oddities in this league. The idea that the Challengers are out front is no surprise, but some of the jockeying that's going on behind them is interesting. I think you and the coaching staff at Cascade had identified Douglas to be one of those teams that would definitely make some noise, be a playoff team, and be that team that would kind of push the Challengers and keep them on top of their game. The odd part, as you say, Mark, is the fact that loss came against a South Umpqua team that, although I think it can be argued that they can put up a good fight, nonetheless, that's not necessarily a team I would expect to beat Douglas. But this takes me back about a year when the Challengers were on this home floor. A lot of people would have thought that that Douglas team would have been easy pickings for the Challengers. But that night, I'll never forget the stat that you threw out that night, the Trojans shoot 53% in beating the Challengers, and that is the last home loss in league play that the Challengers have ever had. And if I'm not mistaken, that's the last league loss they've had, period.
Yeah, I think so.
And a lot of those players that played in that game, we'll see them here this evening.
Well, and I let Douglas into their locker room back here behind in the building here, and they were remembering their celebration from last year as I was letting them in the locker room. So I know they remember. And I'm sure the Challengers do as well.
That's for sure. Well, what we're going to do right now, we're going to take a quick timeout. This will give us opportunity to recognize our sponsors. And you're watching Far West League basketball action between the Trojans and Challengers on TableRockSports.net. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Any phone you want.
Any one I want?
Any phone you want.
Connection is the greatest gift of all. At US Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers, plus $100 to spend on accessories.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
He comes off the bench, and he's a three-shooter.
Welcome back to the Cascade Christian Pavilion. Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore, Johnny McCoy on the camera. And full house tonight to watch the Challengers and the Trojans square off. And Mark, you guys had this date circled on your calendar as the Challenger Brain Trust. And plenty of good reasons for it. I mean, you're talking about a team that has only lost one league game. And I think maybe in some ways I see a team that mirrors the Challengers in that they've got a lot of good guard play. And then they've got some guys that, particularly in Jason Stiles, who can really mix it up around the hoop. And, of course, tonight the Challengers without the services of their 7-foot big man, Austin Maurer.
Yeah, and they they gave us probably the best game we've had in the JV as well, and I can usually tell from where the JV is at, where their JV team is at, if they have the kind of talent on the varsity. And when you see a really quality JV team like they had, you know that they've also got some quality in their varsity team that's above that JV team. And that's, they gave us a good run for our money. We got out to a quick 22-12 lead, and then we kind of stayed with them the rest of the game. So ended up beating them by 59-44. But I tell you, it was a good game, and it was one of the only real good games we've had this year at the JV level. It's just interesting that a lot of these teams that we've been playing lately and sort of pretty much dominating at the varsity level, we're doing similar things to them at the JV level.
Well, I guess, Mark, I think of it a little bit more like a fan than I do a coach, but maybe you can give the coach's perspective. The Challengers have been kind of cruising through their league schedule. This game is going to be different tonight, and you have perhaps one of your most key components missing from the lineup. Mentally, where's the headspace on this team, and is there really any concern about that going into the game?
I don't think so. I think they're pretty confident in what they did. I mean, if you saw last night's game, how they just even with missing two of their leading scorers last night. Drew looks like he's going to play tonight, but missing two of them last night, and they just took care of business. Against a Sutherland team that's obviously not anywhere near the level of this. The team we're going to see here from Douglas, but still they took care of business, and I think that's kind of the mentality of this team. They play a certain way, they play at a certain level, and they're going to take care of business as much as they can against anybody they play, and they've got plenty of weapons with or without Austin out there on the court. When you look at Frankowiak and Colson Brown, obviously Drew Hall, and then they got guys Eli Bryant off the bench. They've got a lot of different weapons. And look what Derek Farmer did last night as well. In his first start, I think he had 12 points. So, they feel like this team has a lot of depth, and if they're missing any guy, including, obviously they're probably arguably one of the best guys in 3A, that they have enough other quality guys that they're going to be able to get the job done. And I think we'll find out here in about a minute or so when this one gets started. But I just feel like that's their mentality, and that's the way they're going about this game.
Well, to your point, every challenger that played last night but one scored. And even with that, Mason Hoffman, who didn't score, had 3 assists. He had 3 steals, and he had a blocked shot. Yep. So it wasn't like he didn't come in and do anything, but rather the whole team got into the act. And as far as players stepping up in major minutes, in limited action, Colson Brown looked good in his return. Eli Bryant made a lot of noise while he was in there. You mentioned Derek Farmer with a good game. Briley Richardson with 9 points off the Challenger bench. That's really the hallmark strength of this Challenger team is its depth.
Yeah, it's depth and I think the defensive pressure. Those are the two big things. Because when you look at the defensive pressure that they put on teams are not used to that defensive pressure, especially playing in our league. You're not going to see any other team put the kind of defensive pressure on you that the Challengers will put on you.
This portion of our pregame show brought to you by Tap Rock on the Rogue River in Grants Pass. Locally owned, family run. Check out the new menu and great views at Tap Rock. We're here at courtside anticipating the introduction of the starting lineups. And the public address announcer will get ready to hand it over to him momentarily. But, of course, you're at a Medford sporting event when you look directly across from you and you see B.G. Gould in the house.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, and I should warn you, Mark, we've got your guy in case you ever go down. Kellen Klecker set in on the first quarter of the girls' game. Of course, I'm going to guess you probably heard about that.
I have not, actually. That is the first time that I've heard about that.
But anyway, it was fun. Now we're going to meet the starting lineups for tonight's game.
Dylan Manuel. The 5'10" sophomore. Number 11, Austin Bodekin. A 5'10" junior. Number 13, Seth Rincon. And a 6'5" sophomore. Number 20, Jason Stiles. The president are under the direction of head coach Benjamin Liu, assistant coaches Leo Rincon and Paul Bodekin. For your Cascade Christian Challengers, a 5'11" sophomore guard, number 2, Jared from Kodiak. A 5'11" junior guard, number 3, Kenneth Anderson. A 6'1" senior forward, number 4, Tristan Wallace. A 6'2" sophomore guard, number 11, Drew Hall. And a 6'3" junior forward, number 13, Peyton Mauer. The challengers are under the direction of head coach Brian Morris.
All right, there you have it, the starting lineups for today's game. And the players out on the floor. The challengers in their home whites. The Trojans in their road dark uniforms coming out with Jason Stiles, Dylan Manuel. Also have Austin Bodenhammer, along with Braden West and Seth Rincon. Opening tip controlled by the Trojans. Shot from downtown.
By Manuel.
And he ends up missing the shot. Challengers on the rebound. Jaron Frankowiak, he buries it.
He's not going to miss that one. Wide open from the corner, his favorite spot.
Frankowiak shooting 41% from three-point range. Best percentage we've seen from a regular in years. And we've had some good ones. Meanwhile, the Trojans on the drive to the hoop. Shot rolls around and off for Bodenhammer, but a putback by Stiles. And it's a 3-2 ball game. First minute of the ball game, Challengers up by 1. Shot misses by Frankowiak, but Wallace tips it back out to Hall. Over in the corner, Cannon Anderson. And a foul called against the Trojans. And that's going to go against Seth Rincon, 5'10" junior. Frankowiak. Hall, who sat out last night, a little bit of hamstring trouble, got a little rest, but now he's in the lineup today. Challengers leading scorer, averaging 17 points a game.
Yeah, Douglas in like a 1-2-2. See if the Challengers figure out how to attack this little zone they're in, and that's it right there normally.
And we have
a travel
called against Wallace.
Which...
It looked like I saw a little contact in there.
Well, yeah, I don't think he's traveling if he doesn't get contact, so that's a little bit of an interesting call.
Well, saw a little bit of that in the first game today. Pretty loosely called game, and a steal by the Challengers. Peyton Mauer out of backcourt to Hall. Anderson makes a move to the hole. His shot off the window. He misses it, and it's taken by Stiles. Stiles out of backcourt, quickly going down the way, and he'll go ahead and give it up for West. Rincon. Manuel with the basketball. Up on the high right wing, West against Frankowiak. Driving to the hole, shot. Missed by Bodenhammer.
But a foul called. I think that's on Tristan Wallace.
That'll be his first foul of the ball game. First team foul for the Challengers. 5:49 to go here in the first. Austin Bodenhammer ties up the ball game. And you can hear that the Trojan faithful traveled well to this game in support of their team.
Well, Saturday game, you would think they would, right?
Misses the second. Stiles with the long rebound. No doubt this team will appreciate it.
Well, one thing that the Challengers have had trouble with is securing rebounds when Austin has been out of the games.
Stiles with the move to the hoop. He gets the roll. Stiles with 2 buckets in the ball game. Trojans now up by 2. Hall in the corner to Anderson. Frankowiak. Anderson guarded by Rincon. Skip pass for Hall over in front of the Trojan bench. Guard-to-guard exchange. And of course, against this zone, Challengers have about 4 guys who can knock down the long-range jumper. Anderson misses on the field goal attempt.
Yeah, round and out. Good-looking shot attempt. Right on line and everything, just didn't go in.
Bodenhammer. Now for Rincon. He gets trapped along the baseline, kicks it out for West. Derek Farmer getting ready to check in for the Challengers. Manuel. And the Douglas Trojans have a 4-point lead. Hall out of backcourt. Walks it up the floor. Anderson. Skip pass to Maurer in the corner. Hall feeds it inside. Maurer going to shoot. His shot rolls around and off. Rebound by Stiles. Foul called against the Challengers. That'll go against Anderson, his first personal foul. Derek Farmer checking into the ball game. Tristan Wallace will check out. Dylan West out of backcourt. 5'8" junior. Not a ton of height in this lineup except for Stiles, and he brings a lot. Meanwhile, Hall's pass intercepted by West. West out of backcourt. Now to Manuel. Manuel picked up by Maurer. He's double teamed. Now they'll feed it in for Bodenhammer. He shakes the defender for 2. First quarter action, 3:32 to go. Challengers trail 9-3. We'll be right back after these messages.
It takes meticulous planning, continuous monitoring, and forward thinking to deliver the perfect 3-egg omelet.
Come enjoy the patio weather and a brand new menu at Tap Rock Northwest Grill, where friends and family gather and memories are made. Come visit us today or visit our website.
Back at the pavilion, Jim McCoy along with Mark McLemore and Johnny McCoy on the camera. And I think probably for a few folks, they would think this is kind of a shell-shocking development. But on the other hand, I think, Mark, you weren't really terribly surprised by it.
No, it's not unusual, especially when a team's playing a zone defense, for the other team to take a little bit of time to just kind of figure out how they want to attack it.
Hall with the basketball. He shoots and he scores.
For example, get your highest scoring player on the court an opportunity at a 3, and he knocks it down.
Drew Hall averaging 17 a game, and he's second on the team in 3-point percentage and 3-point makes. Meanwhile, Manuel, he likes it from downtown, but his shot just a little bit short. Hall out of backcourt. Now to Peyton Maurer. His shot rims off. Ball tipped around, last touch by the challengers. Colson Brown going to check into the ball game. Cannon Anderson going to go ahead and take a seat on the challenger bench. .253 left to go in the first.
Nielsen in also for Douglas.
Kahiki Nielsen is a guy you definitely have to account for. Saw him in football season, one of their top players, one of the top athletes at Douglas High School. Near steal by the challengers, but recovering there is Nielsen. Over there in the corners, Medianu, another good athlete for Douglas off their bench. West with the basketball. Bounce pass to Stiles, guarded by Brown. And a steal by the challengers. Peyton Maurer there. Hall. And a skip pass there, and a little off target. Challengers turn it over, trailing by 3. Derek Farmer, who led the Challengers in his first varsity start last night with 14 points into the ball game, and he will pick up West. With the basketball, Reese Willis is the one wearing number 12. Stiles gets a screen. Brown there with them. He'll shoot. Shot a little bit short. Good defense there by Brown. And I think for those people who don't know Colson Brown, he's a highly athletic player.
Yeah, and he's just had some knee troubles here. You can see him wearing the knee pad. He's had a few actually just direct contact to the knee, and he had a little bit of fluid and stuff developing and had to take some time off just to let it heal up. And now he's back.
He's in the high post right now with the ball. Dumps it out to Hall. Anderson with it now. He's back in the game with Wallace. Feed over in the corner. Wallace being guarded. He's going to kick it out. Brown going to go hard to the hoop. His shot just a little bit too hard, but Wallace with the offensive rebound. Anderson goes inside. A little up and under move, and it's good.
Good patience that time by the Challengers to get a better shot.
Challengers now trail by 1. 57 seconds to go in the first. Willis with the basketball. West going to drive. Swings it around. Willis going to shoot. His shot a little bit long. Wallace with the rebound. Quickly up the floor. Anderson with the basketball. Attacks the hoop. And he gets it to go. Challengers take the lead.
Best way to beat a zone, beat it down the court before it can get set up, and you saw that time Anderson doing that.
Frankowiak getting ready to check back into the ball game. Meanwhile, Bodenhammer with a drive to the hoop, shot in and out, rebound by Brown. Hall out of backcourt. And we have a blocking foul called. And, of course, you can hear by the protests that there is a definite Douglas presence in the gym this evening. They know that this is going to be a barn burner tonight.
Everybody knows that this is going to be a barn burner tonight. Drew Hall gets out of the game.
And Willis will come in.
And you can kind of tell Drew's not completely himself.
No, a little bit of hamstring trouble, and those things are hard to shake. Brown with the basketball. He's in deep, tries to pass it out of the low block. Broken up by the Trojans. Meanwhile, trying to drive is Medianu, and that will end the first quarter of play at the end of 1. It is the Challengers 10 and the Trojans 9. We'll take a quick timeout, and we'll be back with more here on TableRockSports.net.
What do you do when you don't know the first step in applying for Social Security disability? It's easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. LetUsFightForYou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Daily adventures start right here at Pinnacle 365. You'll find exactly what you need for your morning motivation. Later in the day, add some crunch to your lunch with Crispy Crunchy Chicken's mouth-watering chicken and chicken tenders. Wherever your next adventure takes you, we're here to keep you energized throughout the day. And our new Peak Rewards program helps you save money on fuel so you can travel further for less. Daily adventures are better with Pinnacle 365.
There's a time machine that takes you back to a world just a few streets wide. So dive into the past and let them see the world through a simpler lens called Southern Oregon. Their adventure begins when you travel Medford.
Start of the second quarter, Challengers out there with their starters. Drew Hall for Frankowiak. Hall going to shoot from long range. The shot just a little bit long, gets his own rebound. He'll go hard to the hole. He sinks it. He'll go to the line. Drew Hall with the hoop and the harm.
He gets in the lane area there. He's able to finish with all kinds of different finishes and a nice left-handed finish there. Able to finish, take the contact, and get the free throw.
And the foul called as he completes the three-point play. Foul called against Seth Rincon. That's his second personal foul for the Trojans. Their third team foul, the Challengers with 2. Medianu passes for Bodenhammer, and he traveled with the ball. Challengers with the inbound. Drew Hall with 6 in the ball game.
Drew with 6, Cannon Anderson with 4, and Frankowiak with that opening three-pointer.
Cross-court pass. Anderson to Hall. Now swinging around the horn, Peyton Maurer. Challengers being patient. Now Hall driving to the hole. Frankowiak from three-point range, and he buries the shot. Challengers, who at one point I believe Mark trailed by 7, now lead by 7.
Yep, just like that. You get that zone figured out. You settle down a little bit, find those open shots.
And now a steal by Frankowiak. Out of backcourt he goes, and double team pressure. And the ball goes out of bounds. It'll be Challenger basketball. While the Challengers have not seen a team in a while quite like the Trojans, suffice it to say, Mark, the Trojans have not seen a team quite like the Challengers.
I think that is definitely true.
Douglas going to go ahead and call a timeout. 6:40 to go in the second quarter. Table Rock Sports thanks our great sponsors, including Sherm's Thunderbird and Food for Less, and John L. Scott Real Estate, your partners in keeping high school athletics streaming live. And want to remind you, for those of you who are missing the Mail Tribune and able to get those local scores, that they want to check out SouthernOregonGrapevine.com. You'll find stories, stats, pictures, and links to all of our Table Rock sporting streams. You can help by reporting on your favorite team. Check out SouthernOregonGrapevine.com or their Facebook page. Sponsor night here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion. So a lot of those folks who have a direct hand in helping Challenger Athletics getting to see their team in action tonight. And what a ball game it's been.
Yeah, picked a good night to come, I think.
Hall with the basketball. Up top it goes. Farmer in and out, but there is Maurer with the putback. Peyton Maurer gives his team a 9-point lead. It's 18-9.
And the Challengers now in the 1-3-1.
So there, get a little double team action there at the top against Bodenhammer. Cross court to Manuel. They'll dump it in the corner to Nielsen. Nielsen, skip pass. And now it's Manuel. He's going to drive, pull up, shoot. He can't get it to go. Gets his own rebound. And there on the tie-up. There underneath was Derek Farmer, but they're going to call a foul against the Challengers.
Against Frankowiak.
So for Jaron, that'll be his first personal foul of the ball game. For the Challengers, 3 team fouls. The Trojans with 4. Stiles backing in against Brown, moves to the hoop. He gets the shot. Stiles with 6 in the ball game. 7-point game. And trapped in the corner is Frankowiak. He bounces it off the Trojan defender, Braden West.
Got trapped down there in the corner against this defense that...
Frankowiak, it's good!
They just leave him alone in the corner for a second, and he knocks it down.
He's got 9 in the ball game. And the Challengers up by 10. And a steal by Cascade. Getting the outlet is Peyton Maurer. Quickly up the floor. Frankowiak. Colson Brown from long range. His shot looked good. And falling to the floor is Maurer. And a travel called. Much to the agreement of Drew Hall. Eli Bryant going to check into the ball game, making his first appearance of the night. 6'5", so he'll give the Challengers a bit of a physical presence. Jaron with the inbound. Farmer. Hall from long range. That one off to the right, no good. Does a good job there preventing the run up and actually gets his own rebound. As he corrals it, he'll kick it out now for Frankowiak. Full feed it inside. Brown makes his move. He kisses it off the window for 2.
Yeah, if he can do that, he can live there all night because they really have nobody, Douglas does, besides Stiles to guard him down there.
Speaking of Stiles, he has the answer. Stiles with 8 in the ball game, quickly going the other way. Farmer, it's tipped. Now they'll get the ball to Bryant. Bryant tries a reverse move against Nielsen, and Nielsen says,
You mentioned his athleticism. He used it there.
Boy, he's got a ton of it, and he's going to fire from long range. Shot a little bit long. Brown with the rebound. Frankowiak to Hall.
And Challengers need to have patience offensively and get what they want for looks here.
Farmer over in the corner. He's going to drive the baseline. Gives it for Bryant. Bryant goes hard to the hole, and he scores.
Nice pass by Farmer there. Setting Bryant up for the easy bucket.
Well, we saw it last night. We see it again tonight. This team is not just the Austin and Drew show.
No, it is not. There is plenty of talent.
Over in the corner, you talk about a team with a lot of talent. There's a lot of it on this Trojan team. Manuel tries the shot, partially blocked by Hall, but Nielsen is there. They'll feed it back, shooting from long range. West can't get the shot to go. Hall out of backcourt. Pulls up. Frankowiak. Guard to guard they go. Drew picked up by Bodenhammer. Now West comes for additional pressure. Farmer. Now to Hall. Hall's going to penetrate, pulls up, shoots. Shot rolls around and down. Drew Hall. He's got 8 in the ball game. Challengers lead by 14. They'll feed down low to Stiles. Stiles, baseline jumper, in and out.
That's what you want to do. Make him shoot contested jump shots and don't let him get to the rim.
For Hall going the other way, and a blocking foul against the Trojans. Drew Hall will earn a trip to the free throw line. Crazy stats for this kid this year. A guard shooting almost 56% from the floor, averaging 17.1 a game. And opponents, sorry to tell you, but he's just a sophomore, so he's got lots of high school basketball ahead of him.
Makes the first free throw. He'll get another one. And now the Challengers here have scored 18 points in the quarter to just 4 for Douglas.
And this after they had to really fight to get the lead from Douglas in the first. Second attempt, that one's good. Hall, he and Austin Maurer are the top free throw shooters on the team at 76.1%. 29-13. West, cross court. Mediano, he's got quickness, and he tries to put that quickness to work. And we'll have a foul called against the Challengers. That'll go against Bryant. For the sophomore forward, that'll be his first personal of the ball game. Mariano, first free throw attempt. It's good. And Alex, his first point of the evening. Got one more. It's on its way, and that one rims off. Bryant rebounds, outlets for Hall. Bryant in the high post, out to Maurer, and he scores. Peyton Maurer.
Good offense there by the Challengers. Get the ball in the paint and then find somebody to kick it out to, and they got a wide open Peyton Maurer in that instance.
And for Bryant, that's just his second assist of the year. Jump ball the call. Nielsen and Anderson tussling for it.
And the 1-3-1 seems to be working fairly well for the Challengers here, but they'll go man-to-man in the out-of-bounds situation. Anytime it's underneath the basket, they'll go man-to-man.
Trojans get the ball on the alternating possession. West with the inbound. He finds Nielsen. Ball goes out of bounds. And the Challengers get it back. 1:56 left to go in the first half of play.
7 turnovers here in the first half for Douglas. Again, we both mentioned it that they're not used to the pressure that the Challengers are putting on them defensively.
Cannon Anderson, drive to the hole. It's good.
That's his third aggressive drive to the rim and his third bucket.
Anderson averaging 6 points a game, really giving the Challengers a lift of late with Austin Maurer on the bench. Steal by the Challengers. Drew Hall drives. And I can't believe with all that contact.
There was a foul. I can't believe they didn't call that. That got missed.
Riley Richardson coming into the ball game, making his first appearance. Wallace, Bryant come out.
Drew Hall comes out.
So we have Richardson in there, number 1, along with Frankowiak, Brown, Maurer, and Anderson. Cannon way out high. Pass cross court to Frankowiak. Maurer in the high post. And we see some pushing and shoving going on, and a foul called.
Against West, I think.
For Braden West, that'll be his first personal foul of the ball game. For the Trojans, their 6th team foul. In what has been a fast-paced first half. Down in the corner, Peyton Maurer, Frankowiak, quick ball movement. Anderson picking up his dribble, feeds it inside for Brown. Brown on the low post, kicks it out for Frankowiak. His shot just a little bit short. Maurer tries to chase it down, but West is there. Braden West calling out a play with 43 seconds to go. Feeds it in the corner. Mediano against Anderson. He'll drive his shot. Long off the backboard, no good.
And he's back at the free throw line for his second trip there. And really the Challengers, they had him up in the air, and that shot was not going to go in. Don't need to foul there, unfortunately. It's Colson Brown that picked up that foul?
Yes, and that'll be his first personal of the ball game. First free throw attempt by Mediano is good. Drew Hall into the ball game as Cannon Anderson comes out. Mediano now with 2 in the ball game. Second attempt on its way, and it's a little bit long. Brown with the rebound. Outlets for Peyton Maurer. Gives it for Hall. Coach Morse giving instructions from the Challenger bench.
Well, they're going to run a play here to end the half.
Way out high is Hall against West. Wide open in the paint.
Now watch for Colson Brown coming to the middle here.
Frankowiak. 10 seconds now. And now here comes Brown. But Styles there. Hall going to pull up, shoot, shot short. Peyton Maurer, he gets it. Peyton Maurer, and that will end the first half of play. It's been a lot of fun this first half, seen a lot of action on this floor. The Trojans with the quick start and the Challengers with a resounding answer back. It's halftime. We will take a quick timeout, and then when we return, we'll bring you the Medford Parks and Rec halftime report here on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
Dear Dad, today was hard. You know how much I love you, and you know how much I love sports. I was afraid to say this to your face, but I heard you yelling again from the stands during my game. You were shouting at the coach, the refs, even the other parents. It embarrasses me when you yell at everyone. It really stresses me out. I love sports, I love to play, and I love my team. I want us both to enjoy the game, win or lose. But we can't if you always lose your temper. I hope you can cheer for me and the other players. It's about more than just the score. It's about us all enjoying the experience. I hope you can join me for my next game. I really want you to be there. Love, Katie.
I'm Pat Cox with Sherm's Food Stores. The employees of Sherm's are proud to be part of your community.
We have thousands of customers in our stores every day, and our checkers know a lot of them on a first name basis. They tend to enjoy what they do and they love it, so it reflects in how they treat the customer.
If you live anywhere in Southern Oregon, there's a Sherm's store near you. We hope to see you soon.
If you shop with us, you will save money.
Fuel up for your race day adventures with Pinnacle 365. Pit for your early morning caffeine fix to help you get off to a good start and be rewarded with free motivation. Stay hydrated as you ride into Turn 2. And if fountain drinks are your thing, get your 6th free. Add Crunch to your lunch as you head into Turn 3. Fuel up for the remainder of the race with your Peak Rewards app and save at least 16 cents a gallon. Your daily journey to the winner's circle starts at Pinnacle 365.
At the Cascade Christian Pavilion, welcome to halftime, which is brought to you in partnership with PlayMedford.com and the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. The Winter Activities Guide is out now. Learn more at PlayMedford.com or call the Santos Center at 774-2400 to get started. And here with a look at the halftime stats, and you know, there's no telling it. To me, it's almost like, actually, if you took the first half, it's almost like, really, it's like a tale of two thirds. The first third of the ball game, and then the second third of the second, and it was way different.
Well, and you could see the momentum sort of swing from that initial momentum that Douglas had to the Challengers there at toward the end of the first quarter, the last couple of minutes of the first quarter, where the Challengers were down. At one point, I think it was 9-5 or 9-4, something like that, and then they came storming back to take that 10-9 lead at the quarter break, and they carried that momentum into the second quarter and now lead 36-15 here at halftime. And a lot of that momentum that they carried, they just kind of started to figure out that zone a little bit and find out the holes in it and figure out how they could penetrate it. And then once they did that, they just kind of jumped out, as I said, outscoring Douglas 26 to 6, or 26 to 7, excuse me, in that second quarter. So a really nice quarter by the Challengers to get some separation from Douglas. And they did it, a little bit with the defense as well as the offense, as they forced 8 turnovers in that first half to only 5 for the Challengers. Douglas had 8, Cascade Christian with 5. The Challengers shot the ball, as they've been all season, very well. 14 for 25, 56%. Can't complain about that from Cascade Christian. And then for the Douglas Trojans, just 6 for 16 in the first half. Challenger defense a little overwhelming for them, it seemed at times, and they didn't shoot the ball very well. 38%, not terrible, but not and they only got those 16 shots off because of all the turnovers. So a nice job by the Challengers of really taking care of the basketball and playing that tough defense and making those shots difficult for Douglas. Especially in the second quarter, I felt like the defense was very good. Scoring first for Douglas, Alex Metanayo had a bucket. Manuel had a bucket for 2. Austin Bodenhammer had 3 in the quarter, and Jason Stiles. We kind of figured with Austin Maurer being out that the 6'5" post guy would have an advantage, and he showed that. And he had 8 points in that first quarter to lead the way for Douglas. For the Challengers, Jaron Frankowiak, he's just been great from the three-point line, and again tonight he has 9 points on 3 for 5 from the three-point line tonight. Cannon Anderson attacking the basket as he does so well. He has 6 points. Drew Hall leading the way for the Challengers with 10, and Peyton Maurer has 7 points in the first half. Colson Brown has a bucket for 2, and Eli Bryant off the bench has a bucket as well. And I liked how the Challengers were sharing the ball in that second quarter, getting those open looks from either 3 or inside against that Douglas zone defense. So a good job by the Challengers in the second quarter of really taking over this basketball game.
Well, at first, you always wonder how, if a team comes out swinging like the Trojans did, you always wonder, okay, how's the team going to react to this? And the good ones, they weather that storm, and it seems like basketball is always a game of runs. And the Trojans, to their credit, came out, hit hard early. We saw Stiles on display early on in the ball game with a couple of early buckets. And then the Challengers didn't panic. They weathered that storm, and then they came on like gangbusters. Now we'll have to see here in the second half if the Trojans are able to come up with a run. But you're right, Mark, in that it sure looks like Challengers are onto something with that 1-3-1 defense that they like to throw out at people. And when it's run right, as the Challengers have practiced it, that it can be really frustrating.
Very frustrating, very difficult to find passing angles and lanes to get balls to your teammates, and you end up making bad passes that get tipped and intercepted by the Challenger defense, and we saw that in the second quarter. We'll see what the Challengers do. Typically, they'll come back to the man-to-man, at least for the first part of the third quarter, and let's see if the Trojans can make a dent in that Challenger lead here in the third quarter.
Tonight's action is brought to you by the Medford Parks and Recreation Department. The new Winter Recreation Guide just hit your mailbox and is available online. Sign-ups are happening for events, classes, and sports leagues for all. See what's up at playmedford.com. We'll go ahead and take another timeout, and then when we return, we'll get ready for the start of the second half. It's the Trojans with 15, the Challengers with 36. We'll be back after these messages.
Where do you find information about paying for medical treatment after a car crash? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
You can get any phone you want.
Any one I want?
Any phone you want.
Connection is the greatest gift of all. At US Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers, plus $100 to spend on accessories.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
So what do you do when you can't work because you were injured on the job? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Now we're getting ready for the start of the second half. Challengers take the floor with Maurer, who has already hit a season average of 7 points. But again, he's that kind of all-purpose player.
Well, he usually takes on the toughest offensive player. And we'll see if they get who they put him on here in the second half.
And it looks like he's got Bodenhammer early on. Hall with the basketball in the corner, Frankowiak. Anderson. Frankowiak from downtown. He's unconscious.
Started off the second half just like he started off the first with a 3.
He's got 12 in the game, all on triples. Rincon with the basketball. Works it now for Bodenhammer. He'll make a move. He'll kick it out. Rincon along the baseline. Tries to dump it inside, but broken up by the Challenger defense. Hall, a little shake and bake out of the backcourt. Quickly up for Frankowiak. Swing it around. Anderson. It's good. Cannon Anderson. He's got 9 in the ball game.
And a couple of quick threes for the Challengers always helps the confidence shooting the basketball.
Driving, Bodenhammer goes hard to the hole, can't get the shot to go. Hall with the rebound. Up the floor, Anderson going to drive the baseline. He's called for the travel.
Yeah, he
can't argue with that.
Nope, he moved his pivot foot before he put the ball on the floor. He kind of hesitated there. He wasn't sure if he wanted to shoot the 3 or attack the rim, and by the time he figured it out, he traveled with it.
He heard that country music that Russell Brown was playing during the timeout, and he wanted to shuffle his feet.
Oh, there you go.
Rincon, up top it goes. And Manuel tries a shot, and he has been quiet this evening, whereas this week he's had a pretty solid week in the couple of contests that they played last night. The Trojans defeating Rogue River 56-34, and then beating Lakeview on the road. Hall between the circles, picked up by West. Frankowiak. Oh my goodness.
Five threes in the game from Frankowiak. He's got 15.
Well, I tell you what he's getting up into in terms of threes made in the game. He's getting up into Joel McLemore and Scotty Morris territory.
Yes, he is. And a foul called on the Challengers. I think that's going to go on Anderson, or Christian Wallace, excuse me.
Wallace, that'll be his second personal of the ball game. And that'll be the first team foul for the Challengers in the second half. West, in and out. The shot goes. Hall to Anderson. Feeds it to Maurer at the corner of the free throw line. Anderson gets it back. Oh, sweet mercy.
And a timeout by Douglas.
Timeout called on the floor. We'll take one as well. The Challengers lead 48-15. We'll be back following these messages.
You an honorably discharged U.S. veteran? If so, did you know that you and your spouse could save approximately $5,000 by taking advantage of using a VA National Cemetery? You and your spouse get a grave or urn space, grave lining, opening and closing, headstone, and perpetual care, all free. Conger Morris can assist you with making all final arrangements and also help with other benefits that you and your spouse are entitled to as a veteran. Call Conger Morris or visit one of the offices.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, tonight's action brought to you in part by our title sponsor, Lithia Superstore Jeep Dodge Chrysler. Visit lithiasuperstore.com to find your next ride. And our presenting sponsor, Siskiyou Cellular of Southern Oregon, with 7 locations to serve you. Mark, I tell you what, the Challengers have come out in fuego in the second half.
A 12-0 run for the Challengers on 4 3-pointers, 2 by Frankowiak, 2 by Cannon Anderson. And now this game is turning into a blowout.
Frankowiak with 15 on the night. Anderson with 12. And ball out of bounds. West kind of looking incredulous for a moment. Was like, are you sure about that? But the Challengers will inbound. A little bit of backcourt pressure.
Another turnover for Douglas, adding to their total here. And again, not ready for that Challenger defense.
Maurer up top. And we have a whistle underneath. And we have a foul called against Douglas. That'll go against Braden West. And that'll be his second personal foul. Wallace comes out. Colson Brown will come into the ball game for the Challengers. Just his second game back from a knee injury and played well in stretches last night and helping out tonight. He has opportunity here, and he gets it to go.
Great pass by Drew Hall, finding the open guy underneath the hoop for the easy bucket.
Well, this is one of the cool things. This is an unselfish team.
No, it is.
Meanwhile, down in the corner, Rincon feeds Stiles. Stiles making a move, and it's good.
And you can't let Stiles go to his right. He's gonna make that one every time.
You can tell he's a beast in that low block. Frankowiak shot in and out. West with the rebound. Quickly out of backcourt. Dumps for Rincon. Rincon kicks it back out for West. They'll try to feed it inside, but it's broken up by the Challengers. Jaron Frankowiak. Feed to Maurer. And we have a whistle and a foul called against Douglas. That'll send Peyton Maurer to the free throw line. His season average is 7 per game. He's also second on the team in block shots.
Behind the big 7-foot guy.
Yeah.
His brother.
First free throw attempt by Maurer is good. Well, you know he jumps. He's a long jumper in track and field in the spring. And we saw him make a real circus catch during the football season as well.
Yeah, he's got hops. He can dunk it as well.
Second free throw attempt. That one rims off.
Challengers 4 for 5 from the free throw line so far.
51-17, halfway through the third quarter of play. West bounce pass off the foot of Drew Hall.
Reset the shot clock. Oh, wait, we don't have one yet. That'll be next
Not
year.
yet, not yet.
That'll be next year.
Wait till next year. Got to thinking about that during that dramatic girls game today, how that's going to affect play at the end of a tight ball game. West, bounce pass, broken up inside, and suddenly the Trojans take it back. Nielsen swings it, Rincon, his shot off the side of the window. And it's getting a little crazy out there, Mark, and a foul in the backcourt. But you can tell Trojans frantically trying to kind of make something happen, go there and parlay hustle into buckets. Farmer in the ball game. Frankowiak, cross-court pass to Brown. Hall out of the corner. Shooting. Farmer, his shot short. Rebound taken by Willis, who's in the ball game. Nielsen gets it from Rincon. Rincon will shoot the long-distance jumper. That one just a little bit off target. Hall is there for the rebound. Up the floor quickly. Farmer. Frankowiak. He's got 6 on the night. And a timeout called by the Challengers with 3:07 left to go in the third. John L. Scott scoreboard. The Challengers 54 and the Trojans 17. We'll be right back after these messages.
What do you do when you get injured in a motorcycle accident and you need legal help? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. LetUsFightForYou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Get ready for winter's snowy, icy, slippery roads at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We've stocked up on over 100 quality pre-owned trucks and SUVs, and every pre-owned 4x4 and all-wheel drive in stock is sale priced. Many are still under factory warranty or come with our 60-day, 3,000-mile comprehensive used vehicle warranty. And our finance experts are ready to help with a quick, easy, and hassle-free process with great finance options. Be safe, warm, and secure this winter. Get to the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
So what do you do when you get injured on the job and need to know your rights with workers' compensation? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Back here at the Cascade Christian Pavilion, Frankowiak with 18 points on the strength of 6 triples.
He's approaching Steph Curry territory.
Yes, he is. He is having a night. Rincon with the basketball. Medianu in the ball game.
Challengers defense has been excellent throughout this game, giving up 9 points in the first, 6 in the second, and now here just 2 so far in the third quarter. That's one thing that the Challengers pride themselves on, is solid team defense.
Willis with the basketball, and you can just see, there's just nothing inside. No gimmies there.
Offensive foul on Nielsen, excuse me.
Kahiki Nielsen whistled for his second personal foul of the ball game.
On an illegal screen, and another turnover for Douglas. 12 now in the game for the Trojans.
And he's another guy I was looking that could be one that would potentially give the Challengers some trouble tonight, but saw Hall there against him defensively on the last possession. Colson Brown driving hard to the hole, his shot short. Peyton Maurer with the offensive rebound. And now shooting is Derek Farmer, nothing but error, and the rebound out to Nielsen. Nielsen with the basketball, poked away by Hall. And it'll be knocked away, and the Trojans will inbound underneath their own basket. West, high post. Nielsen will shoot, and he knocks it down.
Good looking move there. Tough shot, though.
Yeah.
Good contest from Drew Hall.
West dumps it inside. Maurer, who's a lefty, went with the right, but it won't stay.
Normally he finishes that.
Anderson and Bryant getting ready to check into the ball game. Foul called against Derek Farmer. The freshman led the Challengers in scoring last night with 14 against Sutherland.
Eli Bryant back into the game along with Cannon Anderson.
Now Tristan Wallace will get ready to check into the ball game. Bodenhammer makes a move, and it's rejected by Brown. He'll get this one to go.
Good initial defense by Brown's got to turn and box out, get that rebound.
Hall shakes the defender. His shot rims out. Nielsen with the rebound. Quickly up the floor it goes. Nearly taken by Anderson. Rincon dishes off. And there with the little pump fake, Alex Medianu.
Yeah, good ball fake by him to get the defenders in the air and earns himself a trip to the free throw line.
And it's Eli Bryant called for the personal, his second of the ball game. 3 in the second half for the Challengers. Medianu connects on the first. Wallace will come in, and Brown will come out. Second attempt on its way. It's in the bucket. It's good. Medianu now with 4 in the ball game.
All from the free throw line. He's 4 for 6 from there.
And Bodenhammer pokes it away for Douglas. Trojans getting some points here late in the quarter. West feeds it for Medianu. He gets position on the man, but he cannot get the shot to stick. Hall, 36 seconds to go in the third. Wallace kicks it back out for the sophomore. He'll shoot from three. His shot in and out, no good. Offensive rebound. Now Anderson with it, and he goes to the hole. Two. Razzle dazzle by Cannon Anderson. I just don't remember seeing that in his game last year.
He's gotten a lot better at attacking the rim, and unfortunately Douglas not very good with the help defense.
Meanwhile, Stiles, his shot rolls around and off, and that will end the third quarter of play. After three, it is the Challengers 56 and the Trojans 23. We'll take a timeout and be right back.
Any phone you want.
Anyone I want?
Any phone you want.
Connection is the greatest gift of all. At US Cellular, we're offering any phone free for new and current customers, plus $100 to spend on accessories.
New and current customers get any phone free at Siskiyou Cellular, the Rogue Valley's exclusive authorized agent for US Cellular. Visit souscellular.com for details.
Bill's Glass covers the full spectrum of your glass needs and dreams. Having new windows installed by Bill's Glass dramatically update and improves the look of your home and helps reduce energy bills year-round. Let Bill's Glass show you what you've been missing. Bill's Glass, the largest glass company in Southern Oregon for your home and auto, as well as the trusted industry leader for over 50 years. Locally owned, family run, Bill's Glass in Ashland, Medford, and Grants Pass.
The Rogue Valley Transportation District invites you to save on car payments, gas, and insurance by riding the bus. Expanded routes and hours will get you where you need to go. Visit rvtd.org. Start of the fourth quarter. Willis with the basketball for the Trojans. He bounces it off the leg of Hall. So the Trojans will inbound.
Second time Drew Hall's kicked one out of bounds. Maybe he should be on that soccer team you're talking about.
Well, you know, that wouldn't be a bad idea, although maybe Coach Getman might have something to say about that. Try to dump it inside, and Stiles, that shot just a little bit short. Contact on the play. And the foul will go against Tristan Wallace. That'll be his second foul of the ball game. And to the free throw line goes Stiles. Jason Stiles, first free throw attempt is good. $7:29 to go. Second attempt, that one's good. For Stiles, a busy night for him. 56-25. Hall in the low block, kicks it out. Peyton Maurer, shot rims off, but there, I don't like that call at all. It was just all ball.
Yeah.
The foul will be called. That'll go against Hall. That'll be his first personal of the ball game. Well, refs make their mistakes too.
It looked like he got all the ball to me as well.
Bounce pass for Cone.
Challengers back in the 1-3-1.
And a turnover by the Trojans. Cascade will get it back. 6:39 left to go in the ball game. In the challenger lineup, Anderson along with Frankowiak. Peyton Maurer shoots from long range.
And I don't know why you'd leave him alone at the three-point line, but they do, and he makes them pay.
He's got 10 in the ball game.
Challengers back in the 1-3-1 again. And another tipped ball out of bounds.
Now it's off of Hall's hands instead of his feet.
Yeah, exactly.
Inbound by Manuel. Skip pass, Rincon drives to his right. Bodenhammer, his pass broken up by Wallace. Hall out of backcourt. Picks up the acceleration, misses the shot. Rebound by Manuel. Dumps it down inside. See Stiles there. He manages to save it. Bodenhammer on the drive, and it's broken up by the Challengers.
Another turnover and then a turnover on the other end for the Challengers.
Peyton Maurer tried to save it, couldn't quite get there in time. Brown and Farmer into the ball game. Hall and Maurer come out.
Maybe the last we see of Hall tonight.
It just might be. After sitting out last night, got a tight hamstring he's contending with. But
he does have
big
10.
Early for the Challengers tonight.
Well, and he has 10 points in the basketball game. Challengers back to man now.
Willis with the basketball. Bodenhammer going to fire up from the baseline. Shot off target. There's Frankowiak. Quickly up the floor. Anderson has it. Drives hard to the hole. They're going to call him for the travel.
And that's the call I really don't like. The ball was obviously tipped. He did not have control of the ball. It cannot be a travel. And I hate that call. That one drives me nuts. That is not the correct call.
I would agree.
You can't travel if you don't have control of the ball.
Mason Hoffman checking into the lineup, making his first appearance of the night. Briley Richardson, the redhead, into the ball game. Some of these young guys off the JV who were winners today.
Yeah, we have a nice game today against these guys. Finally, a competitive basketball game. We've struggled with that with some of the teams in our league this year.
And what you're saying is the future of the Trojans is in good hands.
It is. They have some good basketball players in their program.
Tried to feed it down low. Off the fingertips it goes of Manuel.
And another turnover. And the Challengers are now emptying the bench.
And my broadcast partner from the opening game, Kellen Klecker, checking in. And also checking in, Dylan Westlake, who had good minutes off the Challenger bench last night.
Yeah, matter of fact, these are the 5 guys that started for me in the JV game.
Skip pass. Goes to Hoffman. Hoffman shoots. He knocks it down.
The one guy who didn't get a bucket last night is the first one to get one tonight.
Nice little turnaround shot for the 6'3 junior. Nielsen to Mediano. Mediano drive to the hoop, but there to contest it is Bryant. He'll be whistled for the personal foul.
Mediano does a good job of attacking the rim and getting to the free throw line as he's already shot 6. He's 3 for 6 so far, 4 for 6 so far in this one. And he's going for a pair more.
First free throw attempt on its way. It's in the bucket, it's good. 61-26. Another attempt on its way. That one, a little bit long. Ball tipped around, comes out to Hoffman. Hoffman back to Westlake. Reverse move by Brown. He can't get it to go. Hoffman tries to get a hand on it, but Nielsen's there. West, Stiles. Stiles against Bryant. And contact inside. Foul called against Bryant. That'll be his 4th personal foul of the game.
Well, you know, if you get in the game, you might as well
get your money's worth. Yep.
Well, and you know, really, and then you can see the bench talking to him there a little bit. They're trying to tell him Stiles is right-handed. He goes to his right, and Eli let him go to his right, and he paid the price.
And Stiles connects. That's 13 in the game for him. 61-27.
The only one in double figures for Douglas tonight.
Second attempt, that one short. Hoffman with the rebound, outlets for Richardson. Richardson. Westlake. Klecker with the basketball. Down low, it's Bryant with the reverse.
Nice pass that time from Briley Richardson to Eli Bryant for the bucket.
That's 2 buckets in the ball game now for Bryant off the Challenger bench. 63-27. Manuel, right of the paint. And Mediano slips as he tries to get the ball, and it is wrested away by Bryant. Eli on the move. Thinks about a three.
Throws it away.
And away with it is Mediano. 1:25 left to go in the ball game.
And another turnover for Douglas. They have abounded in those tonight, and that's been one of their undoings. And the Challengers with a nice recovery from a deficit in that first quarter, and ever since have just been very good.
Richardson misses from three. Long rebound comes out to Manuel. And another guy not afraid of contact is Dylan Westlake, and
he's going to pick up a foul there.
That'll be his first of the ball game. No, that's one thing we learned from his goalkeeper days playing soccer. He's not afraid of contact.
No. Always willing to put his nose in.
You betcha. First free throw attempt. That one's good for Manuel. He's got 3 in the ball game.
Challengers have done a good job against him tonight as he misses the second.
Quickly up the floor, Kellen Klecker with the basketball. Thinks better of it, works it around the horn. Skip pass to Klecker. And he's going to let time wind down on the ball game.
And the Challengers are going to win this one 63-28, and a very convincing win at that against the Douglas team that's in second place in the league.
So Cascade Christian remains unbeaten in league play and now win their 14th consecutive ball game. The Challengers defeat the Trojans by a score of 63-28 for Douglas. That's just their second loss in league play. And we'll take a timeout, and then we'll be back with the Conger Morris postgame show on TableRockSports.net.
Choose a company that best represents you and our local community.
Choose a company that focuses on relationships rather than transactions.
Choose a company that empowers their employees and provides growth opportunities from within.
Choose a company that shows compassion and rises to the occasion in times of need.
Call a John L. Scott broker today.
Any time is a good time to plan your funeral, except at the time of the funeral. At Conger Morris, we know that there are so many advantages to planning ahead. It eases the burden on our families at their worst time. Pre-planning also alleviates their stress, knowing the funeral costs are already taken care of. And it allows your service to be more meaningful, with all of your wishes being taken care of. Call us today for personalized assistance in creating your own plan. Conger Morris, we'll always be there.
What do you do when you get injured in a motorcycle accident and you need legal help? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Get ready for winter's snowy, icy, slippery roads at Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford. We've stocked up on over 100 quality pre-owned trucks and SUVs, and every pre-owned 4x4 and all-wheel drive in stock is sale priced. Many are still under factory warranty or come with our 60-day, 3,000-mile comprehensive used vehicle warranty. And our finance experts are ready to help with a quick, easy, and hassle-free process with great finance options. Be safe, warm, and secure this winter. Get to the Lithia Chrysler Jeep Dodge of Medford Superstore.
So what do you do when you get injured on the job and need to know your rights with workers' compensation? Easy. Just go to letusfightforyou.com. That's it. Letusfightforyou.com, helping Oregonians get justice for over 40 years.
Our post-game show brought to you by Conger Morris. Hometown help through difficult times at Conger Morris Funeral Directors. The Challengers take away the win by a score of 63-28. But the Trojans started out on fire and tough early in the ball game. This game looked very different in the beginning than the way it did by the time that it ended. That Douglas jumped out to the early lead against the Challengers, and Cascade Christian had to fight pretty much the entire quarter to take the first lead of the game. But once the Challengers figured out the defense of the Trojans, and then they got their own defense really dialed in, it all went downhill from there. The Challengers put on the Jets, ending up putting up 21 points in the second quarter, and ended up by 21 at the half, and then they just never really allowed the breaks. They ended up putting up 20 in the third quarter, giving the Trojans no threat of being able to get back in the ball game. Remember, again, the Trojans beat the Challengers on this court a year ago, and it's obviously something neither team has forgotten. And the Challengers ended up taking matters into their own hands and end up winning the game by a score of 63-28, even with their big guy on the sideline. Once again, balanced action by the Challengers. And Mark, I'm sure as you give us the post-game stats, we'll just discover solid pretty much in every phase of the ball game.
Well, yeah, you look at the Challengers and how they play the game, and they don't play it any different no matter who's in or who's out for them. And tonight was no exception to that, as you saw some contributions from people maybe that haven't given as much in the offensive end of the game as we saw tonight, but they definitely know how to pick their game up when needed. And we'll get to that here in a minute. But first of all, in the turnover department, the Challengers end the game with just 11 turnovers. So really nice job by them in taking care of the basketball. Meanwhile, Douglas had 18 turnovers. So just really a difference in the turnover battle. The Challengers winning that. And in the shooting percentage battle, Cascade Christian shoots 24 for 47 tonight. That's 51%. And meanwhile, the Douglas Trojans 9 for 28, just 32%. So, and if you look at their, the Challengers get up 47 shots to just 28 for the Trojans due to the, that tough defense and all the turnovers that happened in the ball game. So a nice job defensively. I'm sure, like we said at the top, Douglas not used to the level of defense they saw against the Challengers in this one. And it was just an incredible defensive effort by Cascade Christian. Free throw department, the Challengers were 4 for 5. That's 80% from the free throw line. Douglas 10 for 16, 63% from the free throw line. Scoring individually, Netanyahu had 5 points for Douglas. West had 3. Kiki Nielsen had 2. Bodenhammer had 5. Jason Stiles with 13. And those were the only guys in the scoring column for Douglas. So just those 5. For Cascade Christian, leading the way tonight with 6 threes, Jaron Frankowiak had 18 points. Camden Anderson right behind him with 14, and he had a pair of threes as well. Mason Hoffman had a bucket off the bench. Drew Hall had 10 for the Challengers, and Peyton Maurer had 11 for Cascade Christian. Colson Brown had 4, and Eli Bryant had 4. So 3 Challengers in double figures tonight. Frankowiak, Anderson, Hall, and Peyton Maurer. So a really nice job by those guys of, picking up the slack for Austin, who was out tonight. And really defensively is where I thought the Challengers shined. You mentioned it a little bit. Douglas, 9 points in the first quarter, 6 in the second. They had 8 in the third quarter and just 5 in the fourth quarter. So the Challengers accomplished their goal of holding the team that they're playing to single-digit quarters in all 4 quarters. And whenever that happens in a high school game, you are doing your job defensively. And it was really an excellent defensive game, I thought, for Cascade Christian.
Well, again, it's just another example when we see the MO tonight. It's Cascade Christian doing Cascade Christian things, no matter, like you say, no matter who in the lineup. And that's really, I think, a tribute to the coaching staff of Coach Brian Morris, and he's got assistants that are very active, very involved in the game. More or less, Ryan McLemore working with the guards and working as kind of an offensive coordinator. Scotty Morris, the big guy, working with those big guys, and also the defensive coordinator. Then you got Jeremy France in there, and then we got Brett Evenson assisting you with the JV and the JV2.
Yep.
And it's just a good mix, and that's the thing. I mean, when you talk about, right down to like video, and I'm assuming that's probably something that kind of falls into Jeremy's department. And it's crazy to me how just here a high school team has these resources. And, of course, the proof is in the pudding as you see a team now that raising its record to 15-2 for Coach Morris, career victory 650.
Yeah, 650 for Morris, and I believe 14 in a row now for the Challengers on the season. And when you see a team go on a streak like that, it's tough for any team to keep their focus for that amount of games. And just the Challengers have really, even though people have kind of come and gone with the injury bugs they've had this year, able to keep that streak alive. And it'll be interesting to see because they have a big game Tuesday up at Junction City against a very good 4A team.
Well, as a matter of fact, I believe the last time I checked, Junction City, the number 2 team in the Oregon 4A. And by the way, folks, it's a road game, but we are going to bring you that game on TableRocksSports.net. 7:15 start. Just make sure that if you're a subscriber, you get the notification. But if you're not a subscriber, make sure you visit TableRocksSports.net, and you'll see the slate of games. You'll see that one come up on it, and that is going to be quite a ball game. Challengers got tested here today. They're going to really get tested again on Tuesday.
Yes, they will. And that team, their only losses, Junction City, are to a team that the Challengers are familiar with. Yeah, and have lost to the season previously. So it'll be an interesting opportunity for Cascade to play them because the only team, Philomath, is the only team that's beaten them. And Philomath is a team that the Challengers took to overtime and lost earlier this season. So what a great opportunity for Cascade to play in a game like that. I'm sure they'd love to have Austin for that game. I doubt that they will, but it'll be fun to see them against a top-notch 4A team on Tuesday.
Well, we'd like you to thank you for watching tonight's streaming action. Thanks to Nate Maben, Cascade Christian High School Athletic Director, for hosting the Lithia Superstore Game of the Night on TableRockSports.net. A good day of basketball for the Challengers. Not only the boys winning, but the girls, wow, coming on strong at the end of the game and pulling off, I think you could dare say, almost a little bit of a upset victory against the Trojan girls. And our thanks to the head coaches for tonight's ball game, Brian Morse and Bid Van Loon. Our next Table Rock Sports production featuring the Challengers will come up on Tuesday against the Junction City Tigers. Again, the final score on the John L. Scott scoreboard is Cascade Christian 23 and the Douglas Trojans 28. This has been a special presentation of Table Rock Sports. Our executive producer is Joe Brett. With Mark McLemore, Johnny McCoy, and myself, Jim McCoy, we all say thank you for watching and good night from Cascade Christian High School in Medford, Oregon.